His friendship with Sangan is sadly over, and Fabled Raijin is his best friend now.
Next, we have Jacob from Brownsburg using with his Sky Striker deck and favorite card of Sky Striker Ace Ray.
Makes sense to me. You play the deck that has your favorite card in it. You never have a bad day.
Yeah.
And he's having a pretty good day so far, starting off 3-0.
Yeah, unlike Sky Striker decks in Master Duel, however, Jacob is able to use 3 copies of the new Sky Striker Mobilize Linkage spell card, which is not yet in Master Duel.
Yep, that one is from Magnificent Mavens. It's a very powerful card that essentially lets you get another summon from your extra deck on the field. And it's a quick play, so you can do it during the battle phase. And it can give you an attack boost. And it's not once per turn. So you can do a lot of crazy stuff with this card, and we'll see if we see any of it here.
Yeah, Sky Striker decks sometimes have trouble going the distance and dealing the total amount of damage they need to just end a duel in a turn.
Thank heavens for that.
But it may not stay that way with linkage.
I'll just have to go to Master Duel if I want to live one more turn to cause problems. Yeah, losing the Halka Fibrax play, I think, really hurt them and their finishing capability, making it harder to get into Access Code Talker.
For sure, Halka Fibrax was really good in that deck. Most players are still using Effect Veiler and Celine to try to speed into
or the Charmers as well. The Charmer-like monsters, all spellcasters.
Yes, that helps too. Now, Access Code is just such a good card, especially for finishing a duel when you're using Sky Striker. So even without Halka Fibrax, Sky Striker decks have not given up on using it.
And if you don't have one yet, it is coming out once again in Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge. If you may have caught the poster at your local OTS advertising Battles of Legend, you might have seen it on that poster. Now, Exosister's got a big buff out of Power of the Elements. They got 2 extremely strong cards in Exosister Martha, which essentially gives them a tour guide-like effect as a special summon, as well as Exosister Returnia, a new trap card that both lets you Exceed summon or lets you banish a card. And that's on top of Magnifica that they got from Dimension Force as well.
Yes, it wasn't too long ago that we saw Raymond Dye win a YCS with Exosisters, and a lot of players were not even considering that as a deck that might make the top cut, and he just took the tournament by storm. So it's never wise to count Exosisters out, and Doug Dzeeff certainly did not this weekend.
And he started with Martha. Starlight Martha, apparently you just draw it better. And Martha summons Ellis out of the deck, one of the 2 Exosisters that pairs with Ellis, Stella being the other one. He's going to combine them to Exceed summon. Starts with Exosister or Casptel. That's a Monster Searcher. Attaches to activate.
In the OCG, it's not mandatory. In the TCG, I believe it's mandatory. On the one summoned using an Exosister.
Grab another copy of Alice. He has not used Alice's effect yet this turn.
Normal summon. Yep.
Normal summons Martha.
Reveal. Yep.
And special summons Ellis.
Summon.
Now it's not Stella next to her, so he's not going to gain the 800 life points. Uses those 2 to make Exosister Michaelis. I think that's the collector's rare version of her. And detaches to add a trap to his hand. I didn't quite see which one that was, whether it was Vadis or Returnia.
I believe it was Returnia. It looks like Returnia to me.
So next up, we're going to get Banish 6 for Pot of Dichotomy.
Where's the banish?
You can tell Doug is playing quite speedily. Looks like he's practiced this quite a bit. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 4, 5, 6, and we see a bestial monster in there, among other things. Another copy of Vadis. Ash Blossom. He's going to pick up the bestial.
So Exosister decks, they do use the extra deck quite a bit, but I guess they're not reliant on it enough that they aren't able to play Pot of Prosperity.
Yeah, there's only a few cards that they're actually planning on summoning in most duels, and it's the three that we saw right here. The Caspidel, Minneapolis, and then Magnifica. Terraforming is activated over on Jacob's side. That's going to go through. And he will add Sky Striker Area 0.
Could also choose Mystic Mine.
See, you don't want to throw a mine at this one because it'll just get banished immediately.
That's a good point.
You'd have to have a second mine.
We don't know he doesn't, though.
True. Still, you throw, you throw Area 0 here, try to bait out the thing, and then if you have a mine follow-up, then you can use it like that.
Sure.
So he'll set the back row card so that he can target it with his Area 0 to gamble on the top 3 cards and try to get a Sky Striker card. If he succeeds, he can add the Sky Striker card to his hand and send his targeted card to the graveyard.
You want a special summon?
So yeah, I'll be able to summon one of these on top of it, and it's treated as an XC summon.
Does it detach or cost that?
It does not. It doesn't detach for that effect.
That is fine.
So he's activating the effect to...
non-targeting banish a card that you
Yeah, it looks like he's swapping back. So he's going to activate the effect to switch, and then he's going to chain the effect to banish. And that means that he's going to be able to switch back to Michaelis here, which also has an effect to banish the turn she's summoned. And that way he can take out the Mystic Mine as soon as it's played.
Even with the card gone, though, the effect will resolve. This is the old Area 0 Ray trick.
read this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
And Doug is seeing the copy of Linkage and needs to give that a read. We had to give that quite a few reads. Just see if we were missing that once per turn on it. But no, we were not. It's just not there.
Yeah, since it's in Magnificent Mavens, it was just legal yesterday for the first time.
Okay. That's fine.
And it looks like that's what he's going to take. Widow Anchor goes back. And this is nice because he's got the Michaelis out here. He's also Xyz summoned. This counts as an Xyz summon. That also makes the banishment from Returnia live.
So he will summon Ray. Ray can be tricky to play around because if it's targeted, it can chain its effect to special summon a Sky Striker Ace monster. Looks like he'll just link it away.
Now he knows that Doug has a Bestial in hand as well, which is a little interesting.
Attempt to enter battle phase.
He goes into Hayate, who can attack directly.
Battle affects target.
Is it greater?
Yeah.
Doug wants to stop that. He tries to banish the Hayate.
Now, is he doing this in the battle phase?
It's unclear because Jacob said battle phase, but I don't know if Doug let him enter it.
So this is an interesting one. So he's got the Eagle Booster. And the question is, do you use the Returnia here? He's going to do it.
Looks like the answer is yes.
He's going to do it. He may live to regret it.
So it will resolve before the Eagle Booster, so he can banish Hayate if he wants to.
Looks like he's going to banish Ray.
Returning will banish, and you'll get the second effect.
Oh yeah, pay 8, yeah, sorry.
And you do pay 8, as you do for so many of these things.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then chain link, I can't remember if we're on 3 or 4, I'll pay 8 to activate Vadis.
And he's going to chain Vadis.
Puts me to 64.
Chain Vadis.
So that'll cost him another 800 life points.
We get to special summon 2 from deck.
That is fine.
Okay, so Vadis resolves.
All right, so let's see if he summons.
Summon. Summon?
Yeah, it's Sophia and Stella.
So I think the Returnia is probably going to get rid of the Ray and the Hayate. He gets to banish 2 cards because the Ixie is summoned, right?
Oh, that's true.
So yes.
That's right, he did Exceed summon.
This resolves it. Yep.
So that is exactly what we see. So that was an effective neutralization of the Eagle booster.
2 in hand?
2 now.
We're still in battle phase, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna activate linkage.
Okay, so let me read it in this context. So it doesn't gain the...
It's just 1 card. Yeah, target 1 card your opponent controls or in the graveyard, banish it, then you get the extra thing on top
you
of
have
it.
to send the card to...
So Jacob is going to use that linkage.
That's fine.
His only card on the field is the Area 0, so that has to be the one he's sending to the graveyard.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
For Kagari.
Lynching, target.
And he activates it to pick up linkage. Now that's going to spring the Exosisters as well.
Yeah, since a card did just leave his graveyard.
So now Doug gets to transform those 2 on the field into Exceed monsters. And he goes to Jibreen, who negates the effects of special summon monsters. And
That's the sword.
Yeah, and then mandatory effect on summon.
Yep. Main
is that
phase 2.
double? No, it's not double Jibreen.
I
It's under Caspatel.
yeah, I think that's Caspatel.
Suzuki. Activate Mystic Mind.
Switches to Shizuku, activates Mystic Mine. Sets 2.
In phase Suzuki effect.
Chain effect target.
So he tries to use the monster effect with Mystic Mine. Won't allow it.
Yeah, it's he could chain it to Mystic Mine,
Correct.
but I don't think that's quite what happened. It was very fast. It was like activate Mystic Mine, go to end phase.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Pass turn.
Yeah, so he resolves with Shizuku's effect. He has not yet seen his engage this game, so he's going to add that to his hand with Shizuku.
All right, so Doug checks his remaining Xyz monsters.
Activate Devision.
Starts with Dimensional Fissure.
That's fine. Off turn. Stand by phase. Main phase world. Activate Mystic Mind. I will activate engage.
He just picked up Engage. Seems pretty nice.
That's a new engage, not the one he got with Shizuku.
Oh, grab Widow Anchor.
Oh, was that is what he picked up with Shizuku. I didn't even see him add it to his hand.
Yeah, that's what he got. He could have drawn one too. Well, no, I guess he couldn't have.
I was still looking at the Mystic Mine and thinking he's like, did maybe a little fast activate
Yeah.
Mystic Mine, go to end phase.
No, that can only be the one engage. But he can bring it back if he can use a Kagari effect.
Yeah, you do have 3 Kagari,
That deck gets banished.
but now all of these monsters are getting banished.
Oh, that's a good interaction. I didn't realize either. You can use linkage to get rid of your own Mystic Mine.
You can.
That puts me to...
That just occurred to me now.
I don't know that he needs to at this moment.
Certainly not, but when he's ready to close out the game, that might be a way to do it.
Now the interesting thing is, like Doug can go get another Vadis. He could do so easily with packs, Exosister packs. Gets any Exosister card out of your deck.
Yeah, if he gets it.
Alternatively, he could have Armament, not Armament,
Am I made anything?
Carpe Diem,
No, sir.
and name Mystic Mine, which is the trick that Exosister decks use to get out from under their own Mystic Mine. Indicate it.
Draw.
So it's not like Doug is drawing dead here. There's like a lot of stuff that he can do to get through here.
15.
Meanwhile, Hayate's going to whittle away at Doug's life points. 1,500 at a time.
Main phase 2.
He does need at least 800 to pay for all of these things.
That's true too. And he has already paid 1,600.
I can scoop games. I'll scoop.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to pick it up here and go to the next game. Unable to find any of his cards that get rid of Mystic Mine.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing something though, but it looked like he had at least one more turn where he could draw a card.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he might have just wanted to save time there.
It is possible, and we saw that earlier in the tournament that saving time is important. It is a factor in the outcome of the match, and sometimes if you don't make that concession when you realize you're not going to win, time gets you in the end.
Yeah, I think it might have been the Widow Anchors. Like the Widow Anchor Eagle Booster combination is just like, even if I do get rid of the Mystic Mine, I basically can't get through anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I assume he made a determination at that point that he just couldn't win.
It was a good idea to try to just keep all of the striker stuff out, but just having the Mystic Mine at the end and not saving anything for it, which is, it's one of those things, it's like, well, I've got 3 or 4 interruptions, surely I can just use them.
Yeah. Not anymore. It's kind of similar with Dark Ruler No More, where build the most incredible field there is, but if one card takes them all down, it undoes your strategy.
Yep. All right, so was Doug expecting Sky Striker when he entered the tournament? Probably not. The Exosister deck is very clearly targeted towards tier limits, but there's a lot of stuff that sets off the Exosister effects in Sky Striker, namely Kagari, and that's a card that they can't just not play, so they have to play into your stuff, even if it's something like chaining Vadis to Kagari to get the sisters on field and then get them to transform. So, like, there's a lot of things going in his favor here. He just needs to, maybe hold one thing back just in case.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I spoke with Raymond Dye when he won the YCS. I was talking to him about Exosisters because the cards seem very fair and balanced. They don't have, you don't read the card and say, wow, this card's incredible, I can't believe it was printed. And yet, come together, they're all very strong. There's a lot of synergy and there's so much that they can do because they have such a great variety of effects.
It's also one of those things that's a little sneaky because it didn't come out all at once. So you had the original batch in the Grand Creators, then you had Magnifica in Dimension Force, and then another 3 months later, then you got to Martha and Returnia.
Yeah,
and that's when everything got onto the map.
Yeah, Martha and Returnia were huge for the deck. But another big strength of the deck is that they can use a lot of very powerful cards that completely destroy other decks in the metagame that other decks cannot use quite as effectively.
Yeah, like Raymond Dye was playing Necro Valley, for instance.
An incredible choice, yes. And Dimension Shifter as well. Raymond Dye, I believe, was playing Mystic Mine as well.
Yeah, I think he had like one of each, like a Necro Valley and a Mystic Mine. I remember he drew it in the finals and just like, yeah, I don't need to play this, I'll just win.
Yeah, I didn't see it come up at all, I think, in the feature matches that I did with him. But there are a lot of extremely effective cards that the deck is able to use very efficiently.
The neat thing with Mystic Mine in this deck, though, is being able to switch it off with Carpe Diem, which I remember we saw in a feature match in the last YCS. The one with Pac. Or Pac was playing against Exosisters. His opponent played Mystic Mine and then flipped it off with Carpe Diem.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right.
Yep.
So we're starting with Cass Patel. And Doug's going to use its effect to get Martha.
Yep, so this time he used just the regular pair there. Normal summon, use effect to special summon, get the life points. Now he can use Martha.
Oh.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's enough.
Jacob uses Nibiru, the primal being.
Yeah, maybe not something you're expecting, seeing this tournament, seeing how not so good it is against tier elements, but it's really good here.
Yeah, and Nibiru has really fallen out of favor. It used to be a card that just destroyed opponents and really punished them for building big fields. And it's fallen out of favor for a variety of reasons. Gigantic Sprite shuts it down as well. But yeah, Exosisters don't have that protection against Nibiru.
They do not. Prosperity is up next here. Gonna banish 6.
And now he's digging.
So with Ash, Cosmic Cyclone. Ooh, can't see quite what the rest of that is. It looks like triple tactics talents, DD Crow.
I think that's a secret village of the spellcasters.
Is that Secret Village? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, and a DD Crow. But he's going to take the Cosmic Cyclone.
Yeah, no spellcasters there.
On the contrary, he has a non-spellcaster.
Yep.
Well,
So the Exosisters, the level 4 monsters, are all spellcasters, but when they change into their Xyz forms, they become warriors. So it's a little awkward to have Secret Village in this deck. In this particular matchup, though, worth the risk.
for sure, because Sky Strikers are so spell-based. But Jacob's going to switch his Nibiru into attack position. I didn't catch the total stats of that Primal Being token.
Oh, it's not huge. Not huge, because it only took out 3 monsters, and 2 were the base forms that only have like 800 or so.
Okay. So it was clearly weak enough for Nibiru to wipe out in battle. And in main phase 2, Jacob actually summons Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
Well, he's not going into Hulk, I can tell you that. It is instead Hida, the Fire Charmer, ablaze.
Oh, get something to the main monster zone.
Going to go ahead and use Linkage.
That's fine. That's pretty crazy.
So this is
So I had to send this one on resolution, and so I had to use extra monsters out.
Yeah, so to use Linkage, he had to have no monsters in his main monster zone.
yes.
So that
That's why
required
he
him
had to go to the link.
Yeah, so he had to throw away his Ash Blossom to get there, but
Kagari effect targeting.
could be worth it. He'll bring Linkage back to his hand after Link summoning Kagari.
Don't scare me like that.
Shizuku comes out next, allowing him to search his deck in the end phase. Haven't seen it engage yet, so we might see him get that one copy in the end phase.
And it looks like he's got Eagle Booster.
That's going to be nice for protecting the Shizuku.
And I think I saw the Shark Cannon as well.
And there's the engage he's going to get with Shizuku.
One thing I always forget is that you can have 2 engage in Master Duel.
Yes.
So I get rid of the 1, and I get them down to 0 cards, and I'm shocked every time I see the second one come off the top of their deck.
That's why I got confused about there being 1 engage
Yep.
in Jacob's deck. But
The Kagaris are different.
yes.
Different Kagaris. All right, looks like he's going to activate a Bestial here. Take out Nibiru, special summon.
Yep. None.
No spells.
On declaration.
So he's going to attack the Shizuku.
And activates Linkage.
Linkage.
This Linkage is going to special summon another one from the X deck. Looks like he's going to go for Kaina to block the attack. No, he's going to go for Hayate. Goes for Hayate. And I guess this is his way of getting Ray into the graveyard.
Could be. He might be expecting an attack, and then he can protect his monster with Eagle Booster, right?
Protect from battle. He does not attack. So it looks like he's going to main phase 2.
Yeah, actually, he doesn't have the 3 spells to protect it from battle. So it only would have protected it from card effects.
And it looks like he's banished what he was going to go into in his extra deck.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So yeah, in this case, if you declare a summon that's not possible, it just reverses. You're not forced into just picking something new to summon.
Right. I wonder why he didn't attack.
Activate engage.
Actually.
Probably keep Ray out. Keep Ray out of the graveyard.
Even at the cost. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would have done more harm than good for Doug.
Dzeeff can only bounce back specials on monsters, right?
So that engage is only a second spell for Jacob.
No cards in hand? One.
So he lost out to Ash Blossom, but presses on. He link summons Kagari, and that allows him to bring back that one
Guard
engage.
effect, target,
Or linkage.
target linkage.
He's going to get linkage, and that's going to trigger the Exosister effect. Oh, it's Widow Anchor.
No, so the Widow Anchor will negate the effect, so he can't exceed summon over it. He doesn't have enough spells to take control of it.
That is, well, no, it's a second now since he got one back.
Yeah, he brought back linkage.
14. Puts you at 66. Still in battle phase, activate linkage.
Now he's up to 3.
Attack
Yes, and now he uses linkage to get Hayate and can attack directly with it.
and then effect.
Finally, Ray enters the graveyard with Hayate's effect.
It's interesting, like, this position doesn't feel too bad if you're Doug, but, like, this is the last chance you have to actually get into this game.
Yeah, he needs a good draw here because Sky Strikers just keep getting cards. And if you let them sort of go uninterrupted in their moves, they'll just overwhelm you with their cards. And once Ray is in the graveyard, it becomes very difficult to contend with the monsters on the field.
I was thinking, looking at what Doug was doing last turn, like the Exceed summon he was trying to make that didn't quite work. My assumption is that he was going to try to go into Access Code Talker there and just clear everything out.
So we see the Cosmic Cyclone that he took earlier with Prosperity.
Hits the newly set card, which is Infinite Impermanence. Pretty good one to hit.
Stay on my main phase.
Yeah. So
Now he'll attack the Shizuku.
22, so I take 7. It's me at 73. Effect of Ray and Graveyard. End phase.
Yeah, so Doug just sets a card to the back row, and then Jacob can use Ray's effect in the end phase to summon Kagari. And this time he will get the engage. Was it not even worth attacking there? He did some damage, but then allowed
Draw for turn.
Jacob to get Kagari.
Main phase 1.
Yeah.
41.
Yeah, I just think at this point that Doug just didn't have anything and was doing what he could.
Activate engage.
He keeps moving cards from his graveyard to his hand, so it's hard to keep track of how many spells there are, but I think there's 3.
There should be 3 now.
So that's going to get him the afterburners and let him draw a card, and Doug has had enough.
Yep. The Nibiru was just backbreaking in that game, especially if you're not expecting it at all.
Yeah, the Nibiru was huge. Nibiru has fallen out of favor with a lot of players, but in this matchup was phenomenal.
Yep. So good job to Jacob there. I think he's going to catch a lot of people that way.